This shouldn't exist, but it does. A massive temple carved from a single rock with laser-like cuts over 1,000 years ago. No records of who built it, no debris, no logic. The Kailasa Temple is one of Earth's greatest mysteries, and maybe one of the sky's best-kept secrets, because nothing there makes sense. But everything feels intentional. Impossible engineering, forgotten symbols, living energy, sealed chambers. Everything points to a truth that's been buried and is now starting to surface. They didn't want you to see this, but you're here. The question is, are you ready to discover why this temple might be the strongest proof that we were never alone? Imagine an entire mountain being carved top to bottom. No cranes, no concrete, just stone and mystery. The Kailasa Temple, carved directly into the rock of Ellora, India, wasn't built. It was revealed, like peeling away a mountain to uncover a masterpiece. The issue? No one truly knows who made it, or how. Historical records don't match the scale of what we're looking at. Mainstream archaeologists say it was built during the reign of King Krishna I in the 8th century. But seriously, building something like that with primitive tools? It's like trying to build a space shuttle with sticks and stones. The precision, the symmetry, the impossible cuts, it all suggests something far more advanced. And some engineers refuse to even guess how it was done. So, what if it wasn't us? What if this is an ancient signature left by aliens? Alternative scholars propose that Kailasa might not be a temple, but a message. A timeless monument created with a purpose beyond our understanding. If OVNs wanted to leave something behind, indestructible and eternal, wouldn't it look exactly like this? When experts are speechless, you know something's off. Kailasa's construction method remains completely unknown. There are no signs of scaffolding, no tool marks, nothing ordinary. Just clean surfaces, deep cuts, and near-perfect symmetry. Engineers today have tried simulating its construction digitally, and failed. Removing 400,000 tons of stone without collapsing the structure would require insane precision, advanced planning, and tech that goes beyond anything ancient people should have had. Some researchers suggest it was shaped with sound, specific frequencies that softened the rock. Coincidence? Ancient Indian texts do mention the songs of the gods, capable of moving stone. And if those gods weren't gods at all, but aliens, beings with control over matter through vibration or frequency. Because when OVNs show up in ancient lore, they usually bring tools, not just light shows. Think about it, 400,000 tons of rock, gone. That's the weight of over 60,000 elephants. And there's no sign of debris, no leftover stone. It's like the mountain simply melted away. In modern times, even with trucks and machines, a project like that would leave a mess visible for miles. But at Kailasa, nothing. This isn't just a hole in the wall, it's an entire temple with towers, columns, sculptures, chambers. One wrong move and the whole thing could have collapsed. But it didn't. It's still standing, still perfect. So, where did all that rock go? And who had the tech to do that without leaving a single mark? Some believe the stone wasn't moved. It was disintegrated. Through heat, through frequency, through something we don't even have a name for. What if this wasn't the work of ancient humans, but the precision of aliens? Maybe OVNs don't just fly, maybe they build. Here's where it gets crazy. The temple wasn't built from the ground up. It was carved top down. That's a reverse construction method almost impossible to pull off without a complete 3D plan of the interior before even starting. And Kailasa? It's symmetrical down to the centimeter. Towers, pillars, corridors, mirrored perfection. Today we'd need lasers, advanced software, and months of surveying to do that. And they supposedly did it in the 8th century with hammers. Come on, even computers today can miscalculate symmetry if not precisely calibrated. But here, it's flawless. No room for guesswork. And that opens the door again to the big question: what if the creators weren't human? Ancient civilizations often equated symmetry with divinity. But what if that divinity came from the stars? What if this isn't just beauty, but a coded signal from aliens? The closer you get to Kailasa, the more impossible it gets. Massive sculptures surround the temple. Gods, hybrid animals, humans in motion, carved into solid rock, not added later. But the details, ornamental jewelry, muscle tone, flowing fabric, even facial expressions, all without modern tools. Sculptors today would struggle to replicate even one of these figures without 3D scanning and digital modeling. but here we have hundreds, all masterfully executed. How? Some researchers believe these aren't just sculptures, they're messages, embedded codes. Some carvings resemble figures, wearing strange suits or holding devices that look more like tech than mythology. Are these really gods? Or depictions of aliens from a time when Ovienus weren't just in the sky, but walking among us? Ever seen a stone cut manually? It's messy, chipped, uneven. But Kailasa? Smooth, clean, geometrically perfect. Some cuts are so precise, they look like they were done with high-frequency tools, maybe even lasers. And we're talking about an era where fire and metal were the height of tech. Some theories suggest thermal or vibrational technology was used. Similar to how sound waves can manipulate matter, could Kailasa have been shaped, not cut, formed with frequencies like an ancient 3D printer in reverse? If Ovienus used energy beams to manipulate the environment, and modern sightings often show them emitting lights that melt or alter materials, could this be a construction site left behind? A tech temple built by aliens, hiding in plain sight? Here's something eerie. Parts of the mountain around Kailasa look melted, as if exposed to heat beyond what normal fire could produce. The rock appears softened, reshaped, not chiseled. It doesn't look like erosion. It looks like fusion, controlled, deliberate. Could this have been done with some kind of heat ray or directed energy? We know it would take temperatures of over 1,200 degrees Celsius to melt this kind of rock, and somehow, it happened without destroying the rest of the temple. Some believe this is physical proof of energy manipulation, and what's often seen in OVN encounters: strange heat signatures, warped surfaces, scorched terrain. Maybe the temple wasn't built, but transformed by a force not of this world. Aliens may not have sculpted, they may have reprogrammed matter itself. Deep within Kailasa, there's a chamber, sealed, silent, and to this day, untouched. No one knows what's inside, or how it was locked. Some say it was sealed with ancient Vedic rituals, others, that it was sealed from the inside. But the bigger question is why? What's so important that it had to be hidden? Locals say opening it could cause imbalance, even disaster. Others believe it hides something far more dangerous: knowledge, technology, or a truth we're not ready for. A tomb? A portal? An alien artifact? Because this isn't the first time we've heard of sacred sealed rooms in ancient sites, guarded chambers, strange symbols, paranormal effects. Many believe aliens didn't just visit, they left something behind. And if this room holds one of those secrets, what happens when it's finally opened? Sometimes, you have to look up to understand what's below. The Kailasa Temple aligns perfectly with specific constellations, especially Orion and Sirius. This isn't by chance. This is intentional, geometric, astronomical engineering. In Vedic mythology, gods descend from the sky, riding Vimanas, flying machines described in vivid detail. And where do those stories take place? Right here, around this mountain, around this temple. Other ancient sites, the pyramids of Egypt, Teotihuacan, Angkor Wat, share the same cosmic pattern. It's as if they're all part of a global star map. So, is Kailasa just a temple, or is it a beacon? And if so, who was it built for? When scientists brought magnetic sensors and frequency detectors to Kailasa, what they found was weird, irregular magnetic fields, unexplained energy pulses, frequencies that don't match natural geology. The temple literally vibrates, like it's alive. Other sacred sites show similar signatures: the Great Pyramid, Stonehenge, Puma Punku. It's like these places are connected through energy. Some even say Kailasa affects brainwaves, triggering lucid dreams, intense visions, even euphoria. And what's often spotted around high-energy sites: Ovienus, glowing spheres, bright flashes, soundless crafts hovering silently. Could the temple be more than stone? Could it be activated? And if aliens built it, are they the ones charging it? Long before archaeologists arrived, locals told a very different story. According to them, Kailasa wasn't built by man. It was made by beings from the sky. Gods, they said, riding fiery chariots, shaping stone with light, passed down through chants, poems, and sacred lore. These stories describe glowing figures descending from the heavens, not human, not animal, just other, and always connected to this mountain. Were they describing Ovienus with ancient words? Were they witnessing aliens with no better way to explain it? Because when myths around the world talk about sky beings and flying palaces, maybe it's time we stopped calling them myths. Kailasa isn't just an Indian anomaly. It fits a global pattern. Look at Petra in Jordan, carved into the rock, isolated, mysterious, No known origin. Sound familiar? How about Puma Punku in Bolivia? Or the precision stonework of Sacsayhuaman in Peru? All these places share the same strange qualities. Massive stones, impossible cuts, zero historical explanation, spread across continents, but speaking the same architectural language. Coincidence? Or was a single advanced intelligence leaving breadcrumbs around the world? Maybe these weren't isolated miracles, but coordinated constructions by aliens. And Kailasa might be one of the cornerstones. Everyone thinks Kailasa is the mystery. But what if it's just one piece? A fragment of a larger system we haven't uncovered yet. Satellite images reveal strange shapes in the rock around the temple, like buried structures or geometric patterns, too perfect to be natural. Some believe Kailasa is part of an ancient network, a global circuit of energy points, each one still connected, some still active, others waiting. But for what? Could it be for a return? If aliens left these sites behind, maybe they weren't gifts. Maybe they were stations, rest stops, vaults, keys. And if Kailasa is just the beginning, what else is still underground? Why don't we learn about Kailasa in school? Why isn't it shown in major history documentaries? It's one of the world's greatest architectural feats, yet barely mentioned. That silence isn't accidental. It feels intentional. When something this monumental is left out of the history books, someone doesn't want us asking questions. Because Kailasa doesn't fit the timeline. It doesn't fit the tools. It doesn't fit the story we've been told. Could that be why? Because if Kailasa is real, and it's clearly real, then maybe the rest of the narrative unravels. Just like Ovianis were denied for decades, until they weren't. What if Kailasa is next? Here's the thought that haunts. What if Kailasa wasn't made for us? What if we're just caretakers, preserving something we don't understand, waiting for something we can't predict? Many ancient texts speak of the return of the gods, cycles, dates, astronomical events, doors opening, beings descending again. Could this temple be a signal? A message across time, something aliens left behind, to come back to. And if they are coming back, maybe the temple isn't sacred. Maybe it's functional, not a relic, but a receiver, waiting, listening, charging. What happens when the signal gets through? Can you feel it? That strange stirring in your mind, like a puzzle piece, clicking into place. The Kailasa Temple isn't just a marvel, it's a message, a challenge, a silent scream carved in stone. Look deeper. Now that you've seen what they've hidden, what will you do with it? How many more temples, signs, and ancient codes are around us, waiting to be seen? If you believe none of this is random, if you feel there's something bigger happening, this channel is your home. Subscribe now, hit the bell, because in the next video, we might uncover the piece that completes the whole picture.